Chapter 1. The First Clash. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. On a cold morning in November, a historic experiment began on the streets of Austin and San Francisco. Tesla's long-developed Robotaxi systems started serving passengers without a safety driver for the very first time. White Tesla Model Y vehicles quietly followed their routes across various parts of the city. The first days were promising. Tech enthusiasts shared their experiences on social media, enjoying a taste of the future of transportation. A young engineer named Sarah Martinez filmed her commute from her home in Austin to her workplace using a Robotaxi, sharing the videos with her friends. "This is an incredible experience," she said to the camera. But the joy was short-lived. On the seventh day, an unexpected incident occurred at a central intersection in Austin. A Robotaxi had a minor collision with another vehicle that had braked suddenly. No one was seriously injured, but footage of the incident hit social media immediately. The videos went viral within minutes, and public opinion split in two. One side supported the innovation and development of technology, while the other voiced safety concerns. Austin City Council member Sarah Chun expressed her concerns in a local television interview. "I have serious reservations about driverless vehicles being on the streets," she stated. Similar statements also began to emerge from San Francisco. Taxi driver associations and unions mobilized as well. Michael Rodriguez, president of the local taxi drivers union, declared, "This technology threatens the jobs of thousands." Protests began, with demonstrators gathering in city centers. Chapter 2. The Courtroom Scenes. 2 weeks later, local governments initiated legal action. The mayors of Austin and San Francisco filed lawsuits against Tesla. At the heart of these cases was the claim that Robotaxi endangered public safety. Tesla's founder and CEO announced that he would personally attend the hearings. When he entered the courtroom, he was greeted by a hall filled with media representatives and protesters. Some demonstrators carried placards reading, "Human life is more important than technology," while supporters chanted slogans like, "Don't stop the future." Inside the courtroom were company representatives, legal experts, and safety analysts. Prosecutor Jennifer Wallace opened the case by arguing, "The safety of city residents must come before any technological progress." Tesla's defense team adopted a different approach. Lead attorney David Sterling countered, "We have data proving that driverless vehicles are statistically safer than human drivers." Tech supporters in the audience applauded, while opposing protesters booed and whistled. The media turned the trial into a global spectacle. CNN, BBC, and other major news networks began broadcasting live. On social media, the hashtag Robotaxi trial started trending. Judge Margaret Foster struggled to maintain order in the courtroom. Chapter 3. The Opposition. On the third day of the trial, unexpected witnesses emerged. A group of former Tesla engineers were called to testify, and they were about to make disturbing claims about the company's safety tests. The first witness, Dr. Amanda Rogers, had worked at Tesla for 5 years on autonomous driving systems. After being sworn in, she stated, "In internal tests, there were more serious accidents that were hidden from the public." The courtroom fell silent. The second witness, Mark Thompson, a former member of the software development team, testified, "Safety protocols were loosened due to marketing pressures." Tesla's legal team fiercely denied these claims, but the damage was already done. The third witness, Dr. Lisa Chong, an expert who had worked on the system's artificial intelligence algorithms, said, "When confronted with unexpected situations, the system gave unpredictable responses." Her testimony caused a huge stir in the media. Tesla's stock dropped 20% after these testimonies. Wall Street was gripped by concern, and investors began reassessing their positions. On social media, the hashtag #TeslaGate started circulating. The tech CEO categorically denied the allegations. In a press conference, he stated, "These claims are completely false and aimed at defaming our company." But public trust had already been deeply shaken. Chapter 4. Race Against Time. While the trial continued, Tesla's engineering teams held emergency meetings. The company's future was in jeopardy, and a radical solution was needed. It was at this point that an idea no one had considered before was brought forward. The Optimus Robots project was one of the company's most secretive initiatives. These humanoid robots were initially designed for factories and households. But now the engineering team was exploring ways to integrate them into the Robotaxi system. Dr. Robert Kim, head of the Optimus project, led the effort. With his team, he worked day and night to adapt the robots for vehicle integration. This won't be fully driverless, but it won't be fully human either. It will be a hybrid system, he explained to his team. The first prototypes were secretly tested in the suburbs of Austin. The Optimus robots were programmed to step in during emergencies and take manual control if needed. The advantage of this system was that it combined the speed of autonomous technology with human-like intervention in critical situations. The test drive showed promising results. Robots responded to unexpected events much faster. They were also able to provide effective solutions when physical intervention was required. Tesla's team decided to present this new system in court. It would be their trump card. The CEO believed this technology will revolutionize the transportation sector. Chapter 5. The Final Verdict. On the final day of the trial, Tesla's team unveiled their surprise presentation. A large screen in the courtroom showed footage of the hybrid Robotaxi system in action. The videos demonstrated in detail how Optimus robots intervened during emergencies. Judge Margaret Foster and the jury followed the presentation with great interest. Safety expert Professor Daniel Wright commented, "This approach appears far safer than traditional autonomous driving systems." But the opposition was prepared as well. Prosecutor Jennifer Wallace emphasized, "These robots are still machines, and they cannot replace human intuition." Taxi union representative Michael Rodriguez objected, saying, "This time, the robots will take our jobs." The jury deliberated for 3 days. They heard from technology experts, legal professionals, and safety analysts. The media and the public eagerly awaited the outcome. When Judge Foster announced her decision, she chose her words carefully. "It is not possible to completely ban technology, and we must remove barriers to societal progress," she said. But she added, "Nevertheless, public safety must come before any form of technological advancement." The court reached a hybrid decision. Robotaxis would be allowed to continue operating, but under strict regulations. Each vehicle would be required to have an Optimus robot on board. In addition, regular safety inspections and performance reporting would be mandatory. Tesla's CEO described the ruling as a partial victory. The company's stock rose 10%, though there were concerns about the costs of the new regulations. Taxi drivers announced that they would continue their protests. Epilogue. 6 months later, hybrid Robotaxis had become a normal sight on the streets of Austin and San Francisco. Citizens grew accustomed to the system and began to trust it. Optimus robots effectively intervened in emergencies, improving safety rates. Sarah Martinez, watching her early video blogs, noticed the change. Technology really did make our lives easier, but it came at a price, she thought. While taxi drivers searched for new jobs, tech companies continued developing new projects. In the aftermath of the court ruling, interesting developments occurred. Some former taxi drivers found employment in Robotaxi companies. Michael Rodriguez became the operations manager of a Robotaxi fleet. "Instead of fighting technology, we learned to work with it," he explained. The Tesla trial also had a major international impact. The European Union began drafting similar regulations. Technology-friendly nations like Japan and South Korea reviewed their own autonomous vehicle policies. China closely monitored developments while supporting its domestic tech firms. Dr. Patricia Williams continued her research as well. Analyzing 6 months of data, she confirmed that the hybrid system was indeed safer. Accident rates dropped by 40% and traffic flow increased by 20%, she recorded in her reports. But new issues arose. Maintenance costs for the Optimus robots were higher than expected. Some passengers were uncomfortable sharing a vehicle with robots. Tesla engineers worked to address these concerns. Economically, the transformation was massive. While traditional taxi businesses continued to close, the Robotaxi sector created new job opportunities in areas like tech maintenance, data analysis, and customer service. Thousands of new positions emerged. The story raised a fundamental question: is technology stronger, or the laws that govern it? The decision in Austin showed that both forces could coexist in balance. The future would determine how that balance was maintained. A year later, Robotaxi ridership reached millions. Sarah Martinez now considered the technology an inseparable part of her daily life. She even learned to chat with her Optimus robot. Maybe the future is different than we imagined, but it's certainly more interesting, she said while filming her latest video blog. 2 years later, the picture was even clearer. After Austin and San Francisco, major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago adopted the hybrid robotaxi systems. Each city adapted the model to its own local regulations. Technology didn't stop evolving either. Optimus robots became smaller, more efficient, and smarter. The new generation of robots could communicate more naturally with passengers, even learning their personal preferences and adjusting music or climate controls accordingly. Michael Rodriguez had become president of the National Robotaxi Operators Association. The vast majority of former taxi drivers had adapted to the system, with some even launching their own robotaxi businesses. Change was hard, but in the end, it benefited everyone, he reflected. The historic decision in Austin influenced not only the transportation industry, but the entire relationship between technology and society. From then on, new technologies were subject to comprehensive social impact assessments and stakeholder consultations before being released. This process came to be known as the Austin model.